Hello everybody and welcome back to the second shelf and to another video with new arrivals, books that I bought in February or for February. Because as you know, I normally don't do hauls. I don't show you, stacks of books that I just bought. But I started to do this video series called New Arrivals this year. And at the beginning of each month, I will show you books that I bought specifically either for a buddy read or a book club or a Goodreads read-along to be read in that month. Then it's not a stack, it's only 3 or 4 books each month, and I will discuss them then later on in a sort of a wrap-up, a book club wrap-up. Oh, and I also wanted to mention that a lot of the books that I'll show you are bought used, so not new, but either from a used bookstore or from Book Depository. I don't even know why I tell you that. I mean, what do you care whether I buy the books used or new? Anyway, moving on. The first book I wanted to show you, which I bought, is Toni Morrison, Tar Baby. It was first published in 1981, and I don't think Toni Morrison needs any introduction. Very famous black writer. She won the Nobel Prize for Literature. And I'm reading this because February is Black History Month. And if you're following BookTube, if you look at BookTube videos, or if you're on Twitter, you will have noticed that there is a hashtag SoulLit, and that Didi, who also has a BookTube channel, Brown Girl Reading, every month to honor Black History Month, she has a read-along called Soul Lit Read-along, and for this year she picked Tar Baby to read, which is great because it's one of the few Toni Morrison books that I haven't actually read. So it's not even a reread for me, it's a new read. So if you're interested in Black History Month, you should check out Didi's video. I will leave links to all the groups and videos and BookTube as mentioned, as always, down in the description box. But she, a couple of days ago, she made a video about Soul Lit, where she lists all the booktubers that will who will make videos to discuss specific books written by African American writers. So that's certainly worthwhile if you want to participate in Soul Lit and read Black American writers, and also if you want to join the group, of course, Soul Lit read along Tar Baby, which is on Goodreads. And maybe it would also be good not only to talk about the group, but tell you what the book is about if you haven't read it. Tar Baby is the story of Jadine, who is a famous black fashion model, and her love affair with Son, who is a poor black immigrant. I don't know much more than that going into it. I read it because I want to participate in Soul Lit and read African American authors for Black History Month, but also because, like I said, it's one of the books by Toni Morrison that I've never read before. So Tar Baby by Toni Morrison is the first of the new arrivals for February. And the second book I want to show you is a book that I bought for a buddy read, and that is Edith Wharton, Age of Innocence. Also a book I've never read. Shame on me, shame on me. I've watched the movie, but I never read the book. And one of my goals for 2018 is not only to read more classics or modern classics that I haven't read, but also to do buddy reads. I said that in one of my videos in the 2018 goals, reading and writing goals. And this one is a buddy read that I do with Olive over at a BookOlive. She said that she wanted to read this classic, and I immediately jumped to the possibility and asked her whether she wants to buddy read it, and we will start this week to buddy read it. Now, Edith Wharton obviously is a modern classic of the late 19th, early 20th century, an American writer. I read House of Mirth, which I really loved, which I have marked down as a reread, but Age of Innocence, somehow I never gotten around it. It's set in the golden age in New York. It's a portrayal of society with 3 main characters. You have Newland Archer, who is about to marry in a conventional marriage, a very nice, beautiful a woman called May, but then he meets Ellen, who is, uh, quite a mysterious woman just coming from abroad to New York, and he falls in love with her. And well, I know how the book will end because I've seen the movie, as I said, but I don't want to spoil it. But the book is about this triangle of people, these two women and the man, and the question whether he will go for the convention or whether he will take a leap of faith and follow his love and live with Ellen, who is unconventional and who will provide him with a very different life than the life he's coming from and he was about to go into. I'm very much looking forward to this, especially reading it with Olive. If you don't know about Olive and her channel, A Book Olive, you're missing out. You should certainly check her channel out and subscribe to it, because she has a very personal taste of books, and she will discuss a lot of books that you will not have discussed anywhere else on BookTube. A lot of nonfiction as well. Most of my recommendations, if I'm looking for a nonfiction book, I always go to her channel, and I always find books there that I haven't heard of and that sound extremely interesting. So I love her channel, and I'm looking forward to reading this modern classic with her. And the third and final book I want to show you, which I bought for February, is Julia Alvarez, In the Time of Butterflies, first published in 1994. Now, I read this for a book club I mentioned before, a Read Around the World book club, in which we read a different book from a different country written by a female author every month. And this month, in February, we go to the Dominican Republic. Now, Julia Alvarez, I will leave a link to her website down below, and she stresses to say that she was not born in the Dominican Republic, but in New York, because her parents fled the Dominican Republic in 1950 for a couple of months when she was born. But when she was 3 months old, the parents returned to the Dominican Republic, and she lived there until she was 10, and then she returned again to New York, and she lives now in the United States. The book is based on true events, and I'm telling you this very knowledgeable, but I don't know next to nothing about the Dominican Republic, so I just looked at Alvarez's website and tell you what is said there, what she said there about the book. So anyway, the book is based on true events, set in 1960. During the dictatorship in the Dominican Republic and the murder of 3 sisters, the Mirabella sisters, who were in the resistance in the underground, and their code name was Butterflies. And there were 4 sisters actually, and 3 were murdered. And the book is told from the perspective of Didi, the remaining 4th sister. And as Julia Alvarez says herself, through the lens of fiction. So it's a historical fiction novel based on true events, but fictionalized. That's all I know. I'm not quite sure, but I don't think I've ever read a book written by an author from the Dominican Republic, if I can call Julia Alvarez that, because, like I said, she wasn't born there. But the book is set there, and she's lived there, and her roots are there. So I think it's fair to say that she is an author from the Dominican Republic. So I'm very much looking forward to this. I checked out her website, which you, if you're interested, should do as well, because I've shamefully have to admit I've never heard about this author, and she's written, I don't know, something like 5 books of novels and poetry and collections. So yeah, I'm looking forward to discovering this new author, and also to traveling to the Dominican Republic, at least reading wise, and learning something about that country that I know so little about. Anyway, these were my 3 picks for the new arrivals in February: a buddy read, a read-along for Black History Month, and a group read for a group on Goodreads, which I really love. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know whether you participate in any of the read-alongs that I mentioned, either Solid or whether you're part of the Reader Around the World group. Talk to me in the comments. As always, I'm looking forward to that, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye-bye.